Alright, welcome back to Additional Mathematics Syllabus 4049. We are looking at Chapter 11 of our textbooks, which is on differentiation. And today we are going to learn another method to do differentiation questions, which is also known as product rule or product differentiation, the one in blue here. Okay? So let me ask you a question again. What is one word that comes to your mind when you hear the word product rule or when you hear product differentiation? Okay, I'll give you some time to think about it, maybe about 10-20 seconds. Alright, so for me, personally, I'll think of product rule as this term times or multiply. Okay, so I will think of it like this. Alright, and yes, product rule or product differentiation actually makes me think of multiply, and that is true because product rule means we are going to differentiate a x term multiply, wait, I'll write the multiply in yellow, multiply an x term. So we are going to differentiate an x term multiplying by an x term. Okay, so that's the intro for product differentiation, and I will share with you the steps to do product differentiation before we move on to do questions in a separate video. Okay, so I'll drag in pink. So steps to do product dy dx. Okay. Okay, so firstly, first and foremost, right, we are gonna write down there are, if I'm not wrong, 3 steps. 4. Okay. So first one is to copy the first term. Okay. But I will explain deeper what I mean by that. So after every step, I will explain. So copy first term, differentiate the dy dx is differentiate the second term. Okay, so what do I mean? So if let's say I have, I'll write it in green. If let's say I have these two terms and I ask you to differentiate the following with respect to x. So differentiate, I write dy dx as in short for differentiation. So differentiate with respect to x. So if I ask you to differentiate this, right? So I'll write dy over dx equals to dot, right? Okay, so I write this to show you. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, right, this is your first term, this is your second term. Okay, I'll write it out. One in white and one in blue. This is your first term. I'm writing out to show you, okay? And then I'll write it out in orange to say that this is your second term. Okay, I will also underline for you. So here and white here. Okay, so what do I mean? So I will copy. So if I do this question, right, first I will copy this term x plus 1, and then I will differentiate this term. Okay, so this is just like a example question. Okay, so yeah, that is what I meant by copy first term, differentiate the second term. Okay, so second step were to be add a plus sign. Okay, so why do we add a plus sign? Because we are doing product. So quotient also, the steps will be similar, but it's in a different way. Okay, so now we are learning 3 ways. We have learned basic differentiation and chain differentiation, and now we are learning product differentiation. Okay, and in the next video, I'll be doing questions on product differentiation, and after that, we will do quotient rule or quotient differentiation. Okay, so for me, I think of product as so these are some hex. For hex, I'll write in yellow. So product, I will think of times, right? Okay, so I'll think that the times and the plus, they are kind of related. Times is like slanted plus. yeah, slanted slanted plus okay, you know what I mean, right? So yeah, that's how I think of it. That's why I say I add a plus sign, and it's also a method we use to do product differentiation. Okay, and now the third step were to be copy the second term, and then we differentiate the first term. Okay, so now if go back to this exemplar question, right? So what I will do is, if we look at this, hold on. So we come back to this question, right? My third step will to be copy the second term and differentiate the first term. Okay, so what do I mean by this, right? So this means that I will copy this term x plus 3, and then I will differentiate this term x plus 1. Okay, and then the fourth step, right, is to what? Is to really depends on the question. So fourth step, I'll write it in another color. Let's say write it in green. Okay, so I'll write it in green. So fourth step, this is depending on the question, factorize and simplify. So I will factorize and simplify. Okay, this kind is really to depend, and usually the question may be a basic times a binomial term. It may be like, let's say x plus 1 times, let's say x plus 2 squared. Then this one you have to factorize. Maybe in some cases we will have to factorize, if not, no. Really depends on the question. But from questions I see is usually, right, usually is a chain rule. If let's say there's a chain rule, if there's a chain rule differentiation involved. Okay, chain rule involved. Can? So yep, these are the 4 steps for product rule, and now we will go into questions. Okay, so same thing, I'll take a screenshot of it, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video when we are gonna do questions.